Hello everyone, welcome to the Daily Sip. My name is Oliver and my mission is to bring you closer to organic Japanese green tea, and in the center of interest today, a low caffeinated brain boosting tea called the Karigane. Karigane is actually a stem tea, so it's a mix of leaves and stems. So you can see the brighter parts, which are the stems, and the darker parts, which are the leaves. So this tea is coming, or is especially coming from a Gyokuro. Not all of them come from a Gyokuro, but this one here comes from a Gyokuro. Others, other Kariganes, are also called Shiraores. They are coming from high-grade senchas, like for example a Kabuse sencha. So what makes this tea so interesting, and why is a tea which is coming from a high caffeinated tea low in caffeine? So the reason is that it's actually a mix of stems and leaves. Stems carrying no caffeine because the caffeine is in the leaves of the tea. So the amount of stems mixed with the leaves really brings down the amount of caffeine so that it can be drunk even by kids. So we talk about here around a fourth to a third of a normal caffeine or coffee cup, which is around 80 milligrams to 90 milligrams. Here we talk between 25 and 30 milligrams. So it's quite a low caffeinated tea. So very interesting for people who are sensitive to caffeine but still want the richness and the full positive effects of the green tea. And this one here is especially high and especially rich in theanine, thanks to the deriving or coming from a Gyokuro, because the Gyokuro is shaded for a long time and is known together with matcha to have the highest concentration in theanine in the leaves. And theanine is the magic portion of green tea, and in Karigane, if you want to have a low caff and the maximum amount of this richness, then this might be really the tea for you. Theanine, it is still a lot of research around theanine and the positive effects, but what we know until now is that it has really a calming effect. So Japanese people like to drink green tea in general just to have a little bit this de-stressing antioxidants. So this is more coming a little bit from the catechin side, but then this calming and soothing effect and relaxing effect is coming from the theanine. And it is has also been proven that actually you can have brain infarct. So you have the blood flow, or kind of the function, or the brain function, which can also over with the age diminish a little bit. Theanine actually promotes that, and I just yesterday just saw a program in Japanese television that actually they were measuring the brain activity of 3 young female patients who had very low brain activity, so they were quite old for their age, and they could really improve their brain activity and bring kind of their age, or kind of the age of their brain down. So theanine in this case has a major effect of this, and there in this program they especially promoted Karigane. So this is a tea which is really helping. It improves also the GABA waves the GABA in your brain. It is linked also, or it is said to be linked to the gamma waves which you get from meditation. Theanine in this case, just an amazing additional positive component of the green tea. And here Karigane is the low caffeinated high theanine version of this tea, or of green tea. So that's why I want to dive today into this and explain you a little bit what is the taste of this tea, and we're gonna try this one out. Good. So similar to Gyokuro, we go about 2 minutes. So I brought today the smaller teapot, 60 degrees as always, 140 Fahrenheit, also to push even more the theanine and bring and hold back a little bit the caffeine. So I have a low caffeinated tea, which I try to get a little bit less caffeine out by using a low temperature water. As you might know, that the higher the temperature, the higher the amount of caffeine you will have in your tea. When you go to 60 degrees, you have around only 60 to 70% of the caffeine. So that's why you have an even lower caffeinated tea, and it really goes in the direction of zero. That's why I think stem teas in particular are especially interesting for people who are sensitive to caffeine but still want to have the beautiful sides and the positive sides of the green tea. So we're gonna leave it in just for 1 minute, maybe 1.5, between these two, Gyokuro has to be left in a little bit longer because they're tightly rolled, but here we're talking about the mix of stems and leaves, so we can give it a little bit of less time. And after 1 minute, we just take this beauty out and we just gonna try it. Oh, I filled it up a little bit much, but I think we're there. Good, so let's pour this. Just gonna show you the tea. Yeah, good. So this is the beauty of the tea, and it's really good for the brain. This one here has so much theanine, so it is really a good tea to drink in the morning, but you can also drink it in the evening whenever you want. Due to the low caffeine, you're absolutely fine to drink it whenever you want. And in terms of smell, so let's go into smell of the tea. I have a little bit of avocado, but I have a lot of a fruity part. So this here I have a mango, a little bit pineapple, a little bit of papaya, and there's a small roasty flavor behind it. So the sweet corn theanine, so the richness of the theanine is really coming through, mainly pushing the sweet fruity notes. But I have a little bit this sweet corn note in the end, which is clearly an indicator for a high or for a tea which is rich in theanine. Just in terms of taste, this tea is very fruity. It's just amazing. Normally you have always a little bit of savory, kind of strong savory notes in the tea, but here kind of Mr. Sakamoto, who does this tea, he kind of finds a way, a very good balance of bringing the tea on a real fruity track. So this one here is definitely a good one if you like more of the fruity and not too much of the savory side. And it is just amazing, kind of on the fruit, how many different fruits I get. I get a little bit of mango, I get the pineapple, there's a little bit of an avocado note as well with this tea, and there's a slight hint of this papaya also. So I have 3 different fruits plus avocado, and it is not too strong in the savory note, so it's very nice. So if you don't like too much the savory note, and sometimes the Gyokuro is a little bit too pushy for you, this one here is just the kind of lower, a little bit fruitier version of the Gyokuro, and as I said before, just at a low caffeinated level. So I'm also a little bit sensitive sometimes to caffeine, so I try to not drink too much caffeine, even though I like it. Then the Karigane is just an amazing tea. And now second brewing, only 20 seconds, more than enough. You see this beautiful cloudy, full, rich with essential oil water. You can see a little bit of a shiny top also on the top of the water. It's just amazingly fruity. So definitely a tea which is very sweet. There's no astringency to it. There's not a lot of grassy notes, so you're really in the fruit and savory spectrum with this one. Meanwhile, the fruit spectrum is really dominating, and the savoriness is just lingering a little bit with this tea. So even though it is very rich in theanine, it is not too savory, and this is what I personally like, especially about this Karigane here. So it is an option for you if you really want to go for something which improves your brain, which de-stresses, relaxes you a little bit more. It increases or kind of pushes your brain functions, so you're gonna be more clever at your job, which is actually not true, but it will definitely increase the blood flow. So you will be able to give your everything. And I personally am a big fan of this tea, so you might have seen that. But if you ever want to try it, go for it, test it out, see for yourself. Maybe even if you're a little bit sensitive to caffeine, this can be really an option for you. I am Oliver, and I was happy to have you today. Thanks a lot for watching, and maybe see you tomorrow. Bye.